As we go back in our memories of all of the OGs we have ever met, we remember where we've been. Radiotron, Ice-T. My path has been so blessed with so many people, and now we have the new Green Farmy. We're going to end Prohibition, everybody. Let's get this party started. Parade looks like a Weeds Day kind of day. It's really exciting. Have a few new people in today. We've invited the world, but you know how stoner programs go. They come or they go. And it's really important today to reveal myself here. Let's see if I can get my software to come up where I can reveal myself and my poster here. Here I am. Welcome, everybody. It's so nice to have Mr. Boone back in from going to Spanibus. And so I Captain, thank you for holding down Eurotrash. And today, everybody, is a really great day to remember all of those in heaven with Jack. They keep going and going and going. And that's also, I have a birthday coming up. I'm going to turn 65. So I'm navigating all the goodies there. And look at Tommy Chong. Look at Raphael Mechoulam right there, who just left the planet. It's just so incredible to, to navigate our own world, our own life, and leave a legacy. Leave a legacy is what I wanted to say. So one of my legacies is that I'm wearing my my hemp blazer that I made with Larry Serban's fabric from China. God, please make us make more fabric in America. So this jacket is super incredible, and it's even got a hood on it, like a dinner jacket with a hood. This shirt that I'm wearing, this shirt right here, what the hell, everybody? It's all hemp, and so it's incredible. What I want to do here is I'm going to try to get Morris in here. We're going to be talking to Mr. Beagle today, and he is the producer of the show NOCO, and NOCO is one of the largest shows of the year, and that'll be featured in my intro. So we're going to talk a little bit about all the shows that are happening, all the shows that have happened. But in the meantime, because it's my show, I'm going to go and just bang on Morris for a second.
It's an hour different because it's daylight savings time in the U.S., but it doesn't start here until the 26th of May. So instead of being 9 hours apart from the West Coast, it's only 8 hours apart. So good on you, Eric, for showing up on time. And I was only 2 minutes late, and I don't have that as an excuse. But is Morris possibly in Europe, or is he in the States?
No. Morris is here, and he told me yesterday that he'd show up. But we will dedicate our show to Morris, to Dr. Mechoulam, to the women in weed. Thank God we have a few women on board. We also have Russell Langhammer today, our beautiful bodybuilder gentleman that healed himself with cannabis and has many stories. So we're going to be collaborating on a film project with him, and he's been all around the world talking about hemp and the beautiful remedies that it has for paper, fiber, fuel, fabric, and plastic and medicine and all that stuff. Let's see if I got a so here's Morris's slam with sorry, slam with claws. Noko, it's okay. Morris, we love you. And so we'll see who comes on today. It's going to be a really, really beautiful, beautiful day to just cruise around and navigate what I want to tell you about myself meeting Dr. Mechoulam. So before I start our little mini movies that I have propped up for us today, and we lay back and we smoke a bowl, or we have our oh, I didn't even bring my cookie. I'm eating Flax cookies today, so I'm gluten free, and I found some Flax cookies at the co-op. So everybody, you can do it. You can do it. It seems that food is really bringing a lot of people down on the planet. So hemp and organic farmery is the way to go. Support it and drink it. And medicinal mushrooms, if you have PTSD, do your research with Paul Stamets, and watch his movie, The Incredible Fungi, The Fungi Amongst Us, and see what plant medicine can do for you. Not only the journey, but the healing and the dealing with your PTSD. I have my beautiful Kim, that is my partner right now, and we just pray that we're enjoying the microdosing. It's not promoting me to say that, but it's promoting the planet to get it. That marijuana is incredible. That is what Dr. Mechoulam did his whole life. Dr. Mechoulam, his whole life, 50 years ago in Israel, where they study the most marijuana of any, the most cannabis of any country. Let's see here. I'm going to put me on the screen here. The most cannabis of any country has been Israel. Just go figure, Israel. Stop the war and load the bong, you know. So the idea here is that Dr. Mechoulam has left the building, but not his studies, not his teachings. And check this out, everybody. Check this out. That's Raphael Mechoulam's signature. I waited 3 hours in line at an event, not unlike Noko, and guess what? Just what the hell, you know? Whether we get him or not, Morris, you know, the Beagle Man, we're going to go see him. We're going to go definitely go to Colorado in 2 weeks, and I'm going to be going with one of my friends, and Rodimus's friends, Sotero, and we're going to walk the floor. We're raising money for our concert, and we're not going to stop till we get everybody on stage and play some music for them. We're going to have an annual concert and fundraiser for beautiful prisoners coming home, and we might take a global. So we'll see how we navigate that, how our team comes into shape. And enough of me talking here. Hello, everybody, and welcome aboard. I'm going to do my dedication to Dr. Raphael. We're going to actually, let's see how I want to play today. I think what we'll do is we'll get me off the front screen here, and there we go. Put us all in and see how we got everybody in here. Axel and Russell. Russell, can you unmute for a second and introduce yourself? You're the new man on the block.
Hello, everybody. My name is Russell Langhammer. I'm a former athlete and airline industry professional. I'm German. My wife is Hispanic, and we travel around the world telling my story of how I got back up, started living again. I had 5-way open heart surgery, have a brain injury, and I have a broken back. And now you couldn't tell because of God's whole plant medicine and those wonderful little mushrooms. I'm back.
Welcome,
Thank you for having me.
Welcome,
Thank you for having me, everybody.
So we're really blessed. We're going to talk to Eric Boone a little bit today about his journey to Spanibus. I saw you with all my buddies, with the Dreadlock Man, and and everybody there. Alex was there, I'm sure, and we'll get an update from Eric, and we'll get a HempFest update. We were at the meeting last night, a core meeting, and that was very telling and beautiful. So it's all about community, everybody, and sharing. Dr. Mechoulam again. I just keep coming back all day long. I'm going to dedicate, you ready for this, everybody? This is a big announcement. 6 weeks to Dr. Mechoulam. What I'm going to do is I'm going to play 9 minutes every day of his 1 hour movie for 6 weeks. And there's a documentary about him. So we can learn how somebody dedicated their life to something that nobody should be in jail for, and it shouldn't be illegal. And if everybody would either smoke weed or find something that's more chill than uphill or more healthy than a alky, a cocky. So, we do so much. Hang on, we got Dorothy coming in. Hang on. Dorothy always comes in. Hello, Dorothy.
Hi.
How you doing today?
I'm doing.
You're doing. Everybody, do you know Dorothy? Remember Dorothy? Everybody say, unmute and say hi to Dorothy.
Hi, Dorothy.
Hi, Dorothy. Hi.
Hi, Dorothy.
Hi, Dorothy.
How you guys doing?
How you guys doing, she says. Well, we're doing great, Dorothy, and we're so blessed to have you. Are you coming on screen, or are you just going to hang here for a minute with the phone?
Am I what now?
Are you going to come on the screen or hang out with us on the phone here?
Oh, it don't matter.
You can hang out here for a second. Dorothy is also healing from a stroke, and it's no joke. And cannabis has helped her in her movement, but her son's in jail, and we always get Dorothy to come in every few weeks, and we support her. And there's some 420 trays by Crazy Pop Mom on my site, relief-foundation.org. For $420. They turned Dorothy's water off, for God's sakes. And she is a little bit paralyzed, but she has her mind and her voice. So give thanks. And again, eat right, everybody. Dorothy, we're going to put you on just standby here. And I'm going to go make
no problem. Just call me back.
No. Stay right here. Stay with us the whole day. We can have you on the phone here. So we love you. And people have questions for you, but I'm going to share my screen, everybody, and get ready for some video power here. So there's an indigenous thing that I want to share with you. It's only 2 minutes, and it's going to prove the point that we have to evolve on this planet. So listen to this before I play my intro, everybody. And excuse me if they take a little bit of time off our talking time today, but these are really important to me. And yeah, baby, here we go. I'm going to share my screen with you all here. Let me put my music on. Okay, and here we go. Okay, so if I can tab into QuickTime. Boom. Okay, so here we go with our TikTok.
Today I'm going to be reading you federal Indian law. This is the law for Native Americans in the United States. You can't say I'm lying because it's literally the law. The United States embarked on social programs, often delivered through Indian education programs, designed to assimilate Indian people into the melting pot of American citizenry. The overriding theory of allotment and assimilation was that of the vanishing Indian. Federal Indian Affairs was designed to either hasten or ease the end of American Indian cultures in the United States. So here, allotment refers to the division of large tribal reservations into smaller parcels with individual people's parcels, typically 160 or 80 acres, allotted to Indian heads of households, and the rest of the reservation land being put on the open market as surplus land. Now, it is literally within U.S. policy to assimilate our people, to take the land, sell it off, and to make sure that Native Americans as a people disappear. It is literally a part of U.S. policy. So honestly, there's going to be so many passive Native Americans that we're going to have to, as people that care about this, mobilize and really make sure that our existence isn't so undermined that we disappear. Our women are being abused, our people are disappearing, and they are, as per U.S. policy, trying to disappear us as a people. And so, be it through blood quantum, be it through tribal membership, these are methods in which they are trying to disappear us. So to all you token Native Americans coming at me for my blood quantum, you're welcome. You're just doing U.S. policy. You're erasing your fellow people. To people talking about the importance of individual land ownership and reservations, thank you. You're just chewing up the assimilation of Native American peoples. This is federal Indian law. It is the law to get rid of Native American people. It is policy. And the longer we sit here as individual Native Americans talking about how proud we are while simultaneously hating everyone who isn't specifically from our tribe, our skin tone, our sexuality, our lifestyle, our political position, we're just going to be all sitting here looking stupid while our land gets fucking taken from under us and our blood gets whittled out, and we're all going to be sitting here looking crazy. That, or we can educate ourselves and we can mobilize and we can unite as indigenous people and fight against the policies that are going to continue to hold us back until they won't hold us back anymore. They're just going to fucking kill us off. There won't be anything to hold back.
Whoa, everybody. So put everything he says when he says indigenous to cannabis, and let's get rolling. So here's our intro for today. Hello, everybody. Please remember Dr. Raphael Mechoulam, rest in peace. He was the father of marijuana, of cannabis, of hemp. He isolated the first THC molecules. So keep him in your prayers, everybody, and all the rest that are up there with Jack and the rest. And Hemp Hooray.
As we go back in our memories of all of the OGs we have ever met, we remember where we've been. Radiotron, Ice-T. My path has been so blessed with so many people, and now we have the new green farming. We're going to end prohibition, everybody. Let's get this party started.
Today we are so blessed to be witnessing humans coming home for being in jail for a plant and helping and assisting that and raising the awareness through loud media. There's so many hemp radio stations now. I'm going to get myself on some of them. We may be going to NoCo this week and do some shows from there. And look, there's our Tommy Chong, and there's Luke Scarmazzo coming home, and there's Leonard Peltier coming home. We want Leonard to come home.
Leonard Peltier rallied in cities and towns across the United States and around the world Monday, calling for the release of the 78-year-old indigenous rights activist. The protest came as Peltier entered his 48th year behind bars for a crime he says he did not
48 freaking years.
For years, new FBI agents were indoctrinated against Peltier. This is Christina Castro, an indigenous activist from New Mexico, speaking at a rally for Leonard Peltier Monday in Santa Fe.
Now the government is actually admitting they don't know who shot these FBI agents, but they will not give him a new trial or grant him clemency or compassionate release based on a pure revenge and systemic racist agenda.
Good morning, everybody. It's Jeff Eichen here with Weed Steady. Today we're going to be sharing some shows that are upcoming. They're coming this month, and they just snuck up on me, so we may make it to NoCo. It's a fantastic show happening in Colorado Springs, and on March 29th through the 31st. Hemp Hooray, everybody. And I'm really excited that that we have people all over the world helping to end prohibition and bring our prisoners home. I'll share with you some NOCO here. Here's NOCO. It's really cool. Relocates to Colorado Springs, and this beautiful photograph of where it is at. It looks great, and hopefully the weather will be great. I'm going to try to get there, and if not, and do a episode from there. That'd be really cool. But here we go. We are going to show you the speakers from NOCO. So it's really one of the best shows of the year. So I haven't been in years, so I'm really excited to go. Our buddy Chris Boucher from Farmtiva is going to be there, and everybody else that you know, or lots of people that you know, and really important people in the hemp industry to get the industrial side of things going. And we're really excited to be part of this movement. So hemp hooray, everybody. And don't forget that NOCO is happening on March 29th through the 31st in Colorado Springs. And look at all of these speakers. Oh, and don't forget our beautiful Joy Beckerman. She's going to be there, and we love the Joy. And from Washington State here too. Hey, Joy. And everybody else, all the women in weed, you're welcome. Which is today. Welcome aboard, ladies. Showing you what's going to happen day by day. They're pretty well organized. It's 9 years running, NOCO 9, and number 9. And don't forget that ICBC is homing with Spannabis in Barcelona, and that's going to be an epic show. And sorry I'm not there, you guys, but next year will get me there. And there's their beautiful poster. And love and light, everybody. 1, 2, 3.
And get ready. We are now enabling our concert benefit for the Relief Foundation. It's a 420 highway. We're going to have lots of musicians there, NFT auction, and we're going to be dropping our bud drop, and it's going to be amazing. So this is a shout out to Willie and Snoop and Earth, Wind and Fire, Melissa Etheridge, and the rest. All you Hemp 420 musicians, come on board. We invite you.
And welcome home, Luke Scarmazzo.
Marijuana dispensary, and to have those type of sentences when rape, child molestation, and murder carry only a fraction of the sentence that I have, it simply just isn't right.
I don't have to give up hope. You never know. Luke's a good person, and I know that if he was to come out, he'll be a productive citizen in society.
So today we honor Dr. Raphael Mechoulam, and maybe our last little picture here, or not maybe, for sure we honor Tommy Chong. We're not going to use the energy or the word, maybe Tommy's next, but we got to get Tommy and Snoop and Willie Nelson, who's turning 90, on stage at our concert. Really excited. We have Crypto Cannabis in the house. They're going to help us with our drop, and so we can raise money to put that concert freaking on. We've got Breezy is going to give us our annual weekly quote of the week here. We've got Rodimus Parag coming from Europe, and we've got Eric Boone with the HempFest update and a Spannabis update. So I'm just really blessed. My team, Brecky and Axel, we're slow to the gun, but we're learning more and more about the decentralized digital world that we can put art up, and how we're going to also turn our drop into tickets for our concert. So that's going to go, and we're going to go to NOCO in a couple weeks and walk the floor, do some interviews, and just be out there. Be careful. There's still COVID, I hear. My phone just rang me and said, you were in the midst of somebody with COVID. And so there's some incredible AI thing, but it just makes you more aware when you're on a plane, double mask, please still, because I don't think it's good to get it, or, oh, I'm immune now that I've had it. So, keep smoking, everybody, keep joking, and share the love and light to the planet. And, we're going to start with Solo Breezy. Give us a quote. Introduce yourself to the world.
Hey everybody, what up family? Good to see everybody. You guys don't know who I am and you guys are new. I'm Solo Breezy, cannabis activist and executive, and cannabis graduate looking for the cannabis industry. So my contact information is down below, somewhere in those comments, or what is it, the inbox? The quote for today that I have for everybody is really simple. Quoted by Vic Moser, I am still heavy on the I love you and be safe because life isn't fair and life is too short.
So be safe because life isn't fair and too short? Okay. Okay,
so
well.
Make sure you're always trying to be good to people. Whether it's in your life, friends, family, whoever you meet. It's important to be good because you never know when you might not see that last person. You never know.
Are we in the kitchen, man? You sound like we're in the soap bubbles.
Well, we're hanging out at Burger King today. Decided to switch it up.
Oh, BK. I was a Wendy's kind of guy. So, I like the square burger and the round bun. But now that I'm Mr. Vegan and I love my hempcrete, so just step up, everybody, and listen to Solo. He's got some great quotes every day. We'll get him back on for an end quote. Why don't we bring up Mr. Boone here? And Mr. Boone, I want you to say hello to Solo and tell him that if we get him out here one day, and yourself, when to expect that we'll have a position for him at the HempFest rally. I think that's a good thing to say. We can put him up somewhere and begin his path to making his dream come true. Welcome, Eric.
Yeah, absolutely. What's going on, Solo? Good to see you, brother. You know that HempFest always has a home for a huge family, all volunteer-driven organization right now, and the pandemic was really rough on us, so we're always looking for fresh ideas and everything. But we're a little bit of a sad news is that we actually suffered a lot this year from different contacts in the city and county permitting departments. And we got a little behind the ball on permitting based on having to reestablish some relationships. Because believe it or not, throwing a huge outdoor consumption cannabis festival is not just automatically approved by the powers that be. Every year for the last 30 years has been a struggle. And by this time, we should be deeply into threatening litigation, and we're not there yet. So the board took the rough decision, but important one of actually moving it to 2024. So we're going to be focusing on some of our smaller events this year to keep the brand alive. We're really hoping to raise some more interest and gusto among our Washington I-502 community, because the support from our home territory has not been quite as forthcoming as what we're accustomed to in some of our other markets. Because we've already won the fight in Washington to a large degree. I mean, most of our prisoners are out. Cannabis is quote unquote legal. And people have sort of taken their foot off the gas in Washington. And So we don't like to see it, but we'd love to have everyone's action. But that's why it's even more important that fresh blood like Solo come on board and take us into the action range. But we're always happy to bring new members on board. We got some exciting things planned for HempFest, obviously. We got our partners over there at Washington State Crypto Cannabis Club. We got some fantastic Web3 projects in the works, working with of course Jeff on that as well. So good stuff all around. But really the fun stuff that I wanted to talk to everyone about is Spanibus. Oh my gosh. Was that a surprise or what? As you reported, I just spent the last weekend at International Cannabis Business Conference that's Alex Rogers, as you mentioned. He was there. He's just done a fantastic.
That's the ICBC.
Yeah, the ICBC. Yeah, and he did a fantastic job curating that. We had a fancy pants VIP party at the Ritz afterward, and everyone was so nicely dressed, and we were all getting our burn on, and it was just a fun little
dancing in the ethers.
In the Iberian Peninsula.
I've been dancing with Alex before.
Yeah, it was a good time. And so Guy was there. It was good. He's a longtime friend of HempFest. Ran into a bunch of people. Like Dan was there. Dan Hare just didn't even expect him to be there. Just literally came within a few inches of running into it. He was just right there in front of me. So that was a lot of fun to see. Dan. Ed Rosenthal was there. Ed and Jane both, and he's been an activist for a long time. So it's great to see Ed still out and about. And then I need to make one of the things I noticed about Portugal is that the quality of cannabis isn't quite up to what I come to anticipate living on the West Coast. Then I head over to Spain, and I have to say, and I don't know if it's a matter of just a hungry man having his first decent meal in a while, but the quality of cannabis in Spain, I will actually go on record as saying it trumps that of what we have in Washington. And their concentrates are just amazing as well. Just a really amazing.
You mean it's a week later and you're still floating?
No, that's the thing. Is it was just really nice, clean herbal medicine. You didn't stumble around like a stony floor all the time. It was just a great, healthy, energized feeling that comes with having a well-grown and well-dried and cured product. But I was actually sitting in one of the many social lounges. I was specifically at the Backyard, which is a big aficionado of hash in its production. There's a small shrine dedicated to Frenchy cannoli inside the dispensary, and I was sitting there just enjoying some of their product, looking at the poster of Frenchy staring down upon me when I caught wind of the news that we lost Raphael Michelin. That was definitely a big blow, but then it was also it was sort of a good place to hear the news too, because you're sitting there appreciating the cannabinoid, the molecule that he helped isolate and discover. It was a meeting of legends, and it sort of felt like a fitting Valhalla farewell to one of our great warriors, for all of us to be gathered there in Barcelona.
So you
a moment of silence on the smoke for him.
Yeah. You knew about Dr. Mechoulam during your whole career. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Anyone in the industry definitely is aware of his work. Anyone who's involved in the science of it. I mean, he was not even the godfather. Like, he was the father of modern cannabis medicine. His contribution to where we're at today cannot be understated. advancements that we've seen out of Israel in understanding the cannabis plant. They are global thought leaders in the space, and he was the conductor of that orchestra. So although he left behind a tremendous amount of knowledge and a tremendous amount of furtherment in our industry overall, his loss will be felt. And I think that we can all look back on Raphael as having a life well lived. I've gotten a chance to be with him on a couple different Zoom things, but unfortunately I never got a chance to meet the good doctor.
You see that photo of me with Doctor?
Yeah, that's fantastic. Yeah, that was.
What the hell, right? What the hell? 3 hours in line and none other than his. This is my Babe Ruth card, everybody. You know.
Oh, yeah, but well worth it. Well worth it.
Yeah, this is my Babe Ruth card. Maybe it'll finance the party. You know, the concert. Well, welcome and thank you for the update. If you were to have a dream, Eric, for youngsters to learn from the life and times of Dr. Mechoulam, and you were in a hemp class with 12 and 14-year-olds, what would you tell them right now?
Well, I think we need to make a documentary on him, Jeffrey. Maybe that's our next step.
I'm telling you, but yes, that you just planted that hemp seed. Let's go forward with that for sure. But what would you tell the youngsters right now about a man who followed his dream and laughed every time he was on stage and made fun of the brick of hash that he had on the bus, you know, when he was driving and everybody was laughing and going, what's that smell? And Dr. Mechoulam 50 years ago had 2 bricks of Lebanese, you know? So what would you say to the children?
Yeah, I mean, definitely the mark that he left on our industry is indelible. Google it. There's plenty of YouTubes with our good doctor speaking about the benefits of cannabis medicine, but honestly, just enjoying a nice joint, and if you go into a dispensary and ask like, what's the THC level of this cannabis, like that question you're asking because of knowledge that Dr. Mechoulam invented, like he discovered.
He demystified he made it possible for us to really walk this walk and to get medicine to more people, for people like, who's the guy in Canada that makes the black oil, the Simpson oil and all that stuff. Couldn't have been done without Dr. Mechoulam. We honor you, Dr. Mechoulam. Safe journeys home. Go say hi to Jack for us and everybody else in the Cannabis Heaven roundtable. And you're with us. We'll have a big flag for you on the concert and at Hemp Fest for you for sure. So thank you so much, Eric. I'm going to bring Dr. Russell up. Russell, come on up. I'm gonna introduce you to Eric. Russell, come say hi to Eric.
Hey, brother. How you doing?
Hey, Russell. Good to see you, man.
I can't see anything.
Tell us a little bit about your connection to the THC grandfather, Dr. Mechoulam, and just wanted to introduce you to a really good brother and soul. Seeker of ending prohibition, Eric Boone.
Eric, it's very nice to meet you. I've met some of the most wonderful people. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, we can. Yeah, you're doing
okay. I've met some of the most wonderful people since I've come out of the cannabis closet, and entering in the mycology scene. It's just I keep meeting some of the most wonderful people. Argentina, Germany. I'd be in Spannabis right now, guys, if my passport wasn't expired. I'm waiting on it to be renewed.
There's going to be another ICBC in Berlin in May, and that stands to be an even bigger. I mean, I'm probably going to be getting a booth at that one.
Let me know about that, please, because mein Family ist aus Berlin. Ich bin ein stolzer Deutscher, and I'm very in tune with the German cannabis family over there. I've done interviews in Grow magazine. I've done interviews in the Deutsche Hanfverband. I'm very proud German. You're giving me goosebumps, bro.
It's going to be off the hook, and Germany's right on the cusp of legalizing. There was actually just some big news out of Germany.
Aber natürlich, yesterday, I know they're finally getting their shit together, man.
Yep. And I mean, that's the good thing about the Germans too, is when they get their shit together, it's actually together. It's not just on the next phase. So. It's going to be an exciting show, and I'll make sure Jeff gets some of the. I'll get the details to Jeff and make sure that he connects us on that. So,
let's have a show there. I'll be at your booth, Eric, and we'll have some mics there, and we'll interview people.
I'll fly over. I'll fly to Frankfurt, and then I'll catch you guys in Berlin because I'm retired from the airline industry, so I'm pretty good at travel, guys. I'll meet you there. Seriously, I got to get my passport renewed. I don't know why it's taking so long, but as soon as I get that done, we'll start making some plans.
Russell, I want to be in your luggage. Let's travel together. Let's travel together.
Naturally, brother. Well, like we were talking earlier about documentary, we want to go to Mexico. We also, cause my wife's from there. My family's there. I'm actually half Mexican. Sometimes people think I'm Argentinian. Because I speak Spanish fluently and I speak German fluently, and I'm very passionate about the whole plant, and so I speak whenever I can. And trust me, if you want to go, brother, we can do it.
Let's do it.
Waiting.
And you mentioned you're an athlete too, right, Russell?
Yes, sir. I used to be I started out playing football. Okay, being a German kid, everybody wanted me to play soccer, but I was picked on a lot, so I started working out, and I found out playing football, you could actually beat the shit out of these people and get up and shake their hand and do it again. So I excelled at it. Okay, I had a lot of anger as a kid. I had a lot of abuse. I was a foreign kid, and I was trying to be one of the Americans. It was rough, and football was wonderful, but my body couldn't handle it after 12 years. So I started bodybuilding and powerlifting, and man. Talk about narcissistic. Now that I've discovered the whole plant medicine, I look back with a lot of regret. But yeah, I was a really good athlete, and I became disabled. And when I became disabled, the doctors told me, "Man, you're done. Sorry." And I wouldn't listen to them. I got back up, and then when my heart went, that was the one that everybody was watching because it was all documented on social media. I had 5-way open heart surgery in 2019, and the doctors are like, last rites. They gave me last rites, and they said, go home and get your life in order. Call your family and tell them you're not going to make it. You need a new heart. And I use cannabis, a lot of cannabis. So they don't, transplant patients just are disqualified when you use cannabis. So I told them, I'll rebuild my heart. And they're like, how are you going to do that? Watch me. So over the last couple of years, I got back up, man. I went to Europe. I went to Germany. I got with the cannabis people over there, but then COVID hit. So, we were kind of restrictive. So we did a lot of stuff in Mexico. We love Argentina. The Argentina, like you were talking about Portugal. And that's great stuff because in Argentina, they don't have good cannabis. And they have people over there in Spannabis right now, as we're speaking, getting seeds and getting genetics. And every year that I go back to Argentina, it's wonderful. People can watch my YouTube channel. I introduced a lot of those guys to concentrates. And now when I go back, I take a whole extra box of vape pens and Lucas and terpenes so they can do dabs now. And now all my friends, they love it. They're up to date. And we share knowledge in Argentina. We share knowledge. And we went all the way to Budapest, guys. And that's some Russian, old, the wall stuff, They're just now starting to accept hemp in Budapest. Weed is still legal, big time illegal.
Well, that part of the world had all the best hash ever. And Dr. Machulam today that we're rolling by, is I'm going to keep a little tight rein on our party today. Was the Hash King. He was really incredibly connected to the Lebanese and their love for him. You know, when I talked to Tommy Chong on our show several times, and in my movie, he actually said, you know, the French love their wine, and the Latinos and the blacks love their pod, you know. So, you know, who are we to keep this illegal? Russell, tell us a little bit about your knowledge or your sadness for Dr. Mechoulam, who found the THC molecule.
I did a lot of studying, you know. I have 2 college educations, and I love to study. And I started studying him when I used cannabis to get off of opiates, because he was the most in depth. And yeah, I want to go to Israel. I want to see it. Actually, I'm watching a series on Netflix right now, me and my wife, called Fauda, and it's in Israel, and they're very open with their cannabis use. I love it. I was watching it last night, and they're like, "Man, I'm all stressed out." And they're like, "Here," and they brought out the bomb. You don't see that here in America too much.
Well, it's getting, you know, I mean, with all the weed music and even the cannabis music awards, Smokeahonis is going to be there in about a week down in LA. They're going to start to tour, and we're going to bring Smoke on here pretty soon. And you've heard me talk about her. I brought her to the world, actually. So the idea here is to lighten up everybody on the planet, to find more love. I mean, I'll bet you there was quite a bit of dubious at, you know, what was that concert in 1969, the Love Fest, way upstate New York, you know? I'm just saying, everybody was naked and jumping in the mud. I bet you there wasn't a dry rolled paper, you know, in a Volkswagen van to be seen. Everybody was rolling. And that's when we had Colombian Gold, we had Stems and Seeds, and, you know, Panama Red and all that stuff. But, you know, everybody, be responsible and honor the doctor today, everybody. So thank you, Russell. I'm going to bring up Dr. Parra here. And come on up, Mr. Parra, and give us your homage to to Raphael Mechoulam, and say hello to Eric and meet Russell. You're muted.
Yes, hi, thank you. Well, great to be here. There's still people I haven't met here. There's a couple folks that I don't know who they are, but welcome to all. I'm just here to lend my support to this cause. I feel like it's a really important aspect of the whole hemp industry, the fact that there is this whole industry that is growing and becoming more evolved and planetary, and yet there are still a lot of people who are spending time behind bars for something that is already such a passé, thing. Like, what's the big deal? Why are these people in jail? Marijuana offenses. That's got to stop. And, Jeff has had this cause now for several years, and it took me a while to get on board. Jeff and I have been friends for many years, and when I finally thought about it enough, I realized just how integral it is to the whole karma of the hemp movement, that we've got to bring people who are incarcerated for this plant out of jail, and that will heal the movement and probably take the movement to a whole other level, I think. So it's not, I think, my personal opinion, is not healthy to go forward with all this expansion without taking care of our brothers and sisters behind bars. And until we do that, it's not going to be a completely clean business, in my opinion.
So you had the tip jar, remember? Tell us about your tip jar.
Oh, well, that was a while back, that we just basically said, yeah, whenever you take a hit, whenever you put a little bud in a bowl, put a dollar bill or a couple of quarters or something more than nothing into a little tip jar, and then when that gets full, count it up, and whatever it's in there, write a check or send something to PayPal to these organizations that deal directly with getting people out of jail and also giving them canteen money so they can at least have some relief while they're inside prison, be able to buy some nice things for themselves or gifts for visiting children who come to see them. Give them some freedom within the jail cell until they can get out.
So you're saying to feel the smoke every time you smoke, that it's still no joke that people are incarcerated for that. And and so
awesome idea, Doc. Awesome idea. Way to go.
Way to go. Woohoo! I've got my whistle here.
I'd be adding to mine, but it's in the bedroom, so it will have to wait until after the show. But my jar is still there. I just haven't put it on the thing. But I have heard lately that a lot of these organizations are not giving all the money to the prisoners or their families or whatever. So you need to go to Jeff's site, because I know that one gives the money directly to the people that need it, whether it be the family.
We're gonna go through Stephanie Landa and get it directly to the people there. Randy Lanier is on their board of directors, so we are straight up, everybody.
Thanks, Hammer, for mentioning that. Yeah.
Rodimus, really quickly, then I want to get to Morris, because I see Morris just stepped in here, and he's one of our guest honors today. So, Rodimus, tell us what's in your heart for Dr. Mechoulam leaving the planet, and a good job he did.
Well, I'll be very honest with you and tell you that I did not know that name associated with pop research. I know that there has been that kind of research happening, and I know that a lot of it happened in Israel as well, but I didn't specifically know the name. So I've been educated by being on your show and learning more about this man. And, I admit my ignorance. But I'm grateful for the fact that he and many other people, I've read other books by other people who are in the psilocybin world and doing research there, both chemical research as well as treatment, using DMT, psilocybin, LSD for psychotherapy and trauma healing. Yeah, right. Well,
saved my life.
Well, okay. Thank you, Russell. There you go. So, right. So that I was aware of, but I wasn't aware of the man who just recently passed away. So I don't have anything directly to say about him, since I don't know much about him. So, but last but not least, I just want to say that, I come from a background in the arts. What you see behind me here is a still image from one of my psychotronic videos, healing psychotronic videos from the 80s. And before that, I was an actor on television, and I was a child actor. I was the original grasshopper in the original television series Kung Fu. And David Carradine was the adult version, and I was the kid in all the flashbacks, talking the philosophy with Master Po and Master Khan in the Shaolin Monastery.
And they always had patience.
And the reason why I'm, lending, because grasshopper, grass. Okay, so I'm trying to lend whatever cachet
I've been trying to get him to jump on board for years now. We're finally getting him to snatch the bud.
Yeah, it was a really good show. Thanks, Russell. Yeah, it was a really pivotal show. Those of you who are too young don't know that it was actually like a #1 hit show, and people would literally gather around the television in dorm rooms and families. And the word that I hear often associated with when they talk to me, wow, we used to watch that show religiously. What other TV show that everybody ever used the word religiously watched it? So anyway, forever, I'm not, I'm just saying it was a phenomenon, it was a cultural phenomenon, and it set the stage for future things like Obi-Wan Kenobi and Luke Skywalker, Grasshopper, Skywalker, Mr. Miyagi. Right, Mr. Miyagi, the Karate Kid, and then now, of course, the Kung Fu Panda, and also the Karate Kid again on Netflix. So anyway, it's a legacy there, but it's about consciousness. It's about putting spiritual values into practice. And I think that's what everybody here who's shown up for Jeff's show, I think, has the same spiritual bent in their heart, that beautiful rainbow-shaped smile.
It's the cannabis code. It's bringing the plant from another planet to help us through this whole ordeal. We're going to really win this game, everybody, together. And I'm going to bring up Morris right now before we lose him. Morris, come on up on stage and unmute yourself. Welcome aboard, Morris. I don't see Chris here yet, or Chris Boucher, but all the people that we're in cahoots and communication with, everybody give a to Morris, a Hemp Hooray. And Morris has a show coming up. That's NOCO 9 and number 9. And Rodimus and Eric say hello to, and Russell say greetings to Morris.
Hola, amigo. ¿Cómo estás?
Well, thanks, Jeff. Appreciate you having me on. And wow, it's like Eric from HempFest, who's been an inspiration to our show for a long time. And then freaking Grasshopper. I can't fucking believe it. It's like, I say that to my kids all the time. It's okay, young Grasshopper. You will learn. So that's like the biggest surprise of the whole show. That's so awesome, man. Well, I watched you when I was a child. When you were a child too, I guess.
Well, Morris, when we get on stage with Snoop and Willie at the Oakland Coliseum and have 42,000 tickets, we're going to have you and Grasshopper there together on stage, and maybe Willie or Tommy or some elder, and we'll have Grasshopper snatch the bud.
And you know what else we're going to have? Right behind me here. Here, I'll do it this way. We're going to backline that stage with hemp guitars, guitar cabinets, and amplifiers, because all that stuff behind me is made out of hemp.
Well,
they're great guitars. The amplifiers sound great, and yeah, we will backline that stage with.
Let's do a line, a prison line, and all the prisoners will sign a guitar, and we'll NFT auction that off and help pay for the concert.
There we go.
Yeah, baby. Yeah, baby. So tell us a little bit about your journey and your heart, because today I'm gonna rein the horsey here in, and whoa, horsey, tell us about your emotions with Dr. Mechoulam.
So I never met him personally, but I certainly am familiar with him, and I was actually going to be involved in a show in Mexico last year that he had committed to being part of. And then that show kind of fell through, everything in Mexico when, hey, everything's going to be legalized, blah, blah, blah. And that did not happen. They've been continuing to kick the can down the road, really worse than we do here in the United States. And you know, the can gets kicked all over the world, really. It's been a pretty fucked up situation for a long time, as we all know. But he's certainly a pioneer and somebody who has delivered so much information to the world about the compounds of the cannabis plant and all the medicinal and therapeutic benefits. So tremendous loss. He lived a long life and has contributed, you know, so much to this movement that, you know, it's immeasurable.
Quick question, Morris. Since you know a little bit about him, you know, his research didn't die with him. Who are the people who have been directly influenced by him who are carrying on his work? You know.
Well, there's a ton of people that are in the whole medicinal cannabis and research side of things, and in Israel and stuff. My background, first, like you wanted to ask where I come from. I come from the music industry first and foremost, and then I got into the industrial hemp space, which has really been based more around the fiber and the grain, the food, the material side of things, and less on the medicinal cannabinoid side of the industry. So I'm certainly familiar with the name and some of his work, but I leave the expertise in that realm up to those who really know. I'm more about building materials and houses and bioplastic and guitars and hemp protein powder from the hemp seeds and all the other cool environmental stuff it can do for our planet that Jack preached about. That, and another guy that hasn't been mentioned yet is Ben Dronkers and the Dronkers family. And if it wasn't for that guy and that family with Cincy seeds and hemp flax, this industry would not be where it's at today as well. He's another guy, along with Jack, who's been instrumental in getting this industry to where it's at, particularly with the founding of hemp flax back in the early 90s in Europe, which in turn has brought hemp fiber back to the marketplace for automobiles such as BMW and Mercedes, using it as their inner paneling for their car doors. and a lot of other non-woven applications that are now becoming more commonplace in Europe and other places throughout the world, and which we want to see happen here in the United States, which we've been a little bit behind the ball. We've been kind of blinded by these shiny objects that is CBD and cannabinoids and all this, where we really need to be focusing on planting thousands, hundreds of thousands, and millions of acres of this crop to sequester carbon, to create materials that can get into the...
To heal the soil, right.
Yeah, exactly. So, you know, that's where I come from. That's what I'm trying
Morris,
to
check it out. Check it out.
There we go. Nice.
You know, that's a hempcrete ball. It's got a R value of 9. Check this out. Morris already knows about that. That's 3D hemp plastic, you guys, you know.
Yeah.
Made in Italy, and so it can be made anywhere. And Morris, check my...
That's 3D hemp plastic, too. There's a guitar pick.
Check my shirt out. Check my jacket out. It's all Larry Serban fabric from China. Let's grow it here in America. Get your decorticator on, everybody. My hat is hemp. My shoes. Check this out, everybody. I got my shoes. My shoes are hemp. Look at that. Merrill did it, and we can do it, and we don't have to feed the dirty cotton industry.
Larry's going to be at NOCO. He'll be speaking. He comes every year.
Okay, great.
And then some of the board product that I have back here used on those cabinets was created by Larry. He had an offshoot called Canagrow that
was in Idaho before they shut that down, and they're not doing it anymore. So he's in between right now, is what I hear.
Exactly. Well, I got a whole bunch of that material, and my guitar builder still has a bunch of it. So I've got the remaining material that Larry created in Idaho.
I know 3 luthiers here in Port Townsend where I live, and one of my bowmen who made bows out of ebony, he had over $1 million worth of ebony. I don't know if it was legal or illegal in a warehouse here, and his bows went for like $15,000. But I've got luthiers around, so I've watched guitars being made before. So I can't wait to play in that realm with you and share my concert idea with you and make it happen. I just want to bring all the prisoners on stage. I want to make the money for them on the given day that we do the concert. I'm really close, and so we want to invite you into one of our closed meetings and put you on the board there.
Awesome. Happy to do what I can do from my side of the fence. And, you know, it's one plant, covers a lot of different areas, and sometimes not all areas and all segments of the industry see eye to eye on things, but hopefully we can all come together and unite as one singular voice about all the great things that this plant could do and the thousands of uses and just the peace that it can bring to this world.
Well, next year for sure, let's bring me with 40 tons and have a contingency there for our prison project and start to promote our concert. And I'd love to be a speaker for you next year. But I will see you there, dude. I'm pulling the trigger. We're going to get an Airbnb close by, and so invite me to after parties, and then I'd love to have an interview maybe with you and Chris sometime during the weekend. So I know you're a busy man, and we'll be offline in an email, and we'll figure out how I can get into the rooms at the right time and get a slot. And it'll be great to be there.
Great. Well, thanks for having me on. And a shout out to you again, Eric, and Vivian and all the folks from Seattle Hemp Fest. You guys have been pioneers for a long time. And a shout out to ICBC, Alex. I got to speak at his show in San Francisco a few years ago before COVID. Another great activist and promoter, and the Spanibus guys. And so all of us show organizers, I think that there's an alignment that can happen where we can really work together and elevate this again as a united voice.
Well, Morris, you know, I want to say that I think that there needs to be representation at every one of these events for the prisoners. Like I said earlier in my little speech, there was that, you know, the karma of this whole thing has to get cleaned up a little bit, and part of that is getting those people out of jail who have been suffering for an outdated, illegal thing. So I think that's just it's an essential component. It's a small but essential component of the movement, in my opinion.
Right, and we are quasi partners with Last Prisoner Project. I'm friends with Mary Bailey and Steve D'Angelo and Andrew D'Angelo and all the great folks that have been working on that project. I got to meet the 40 Tons folks at Benzinga in Chicago last September, and we got to get everybody out of prison. Nobody should be in jail for this plant, regardless. And I'm all about it.
Let's end prohibition together, everybody.
Just really quick, I totally agree with you.
You just muted yourself, Eric.
Hey, Chris, can you mute your mic, Chris? Thank you, Chris. Just mute
Sorry. Yeah, no, I was just going to say, Vivian's actually, he's still really active. I talk to him all the time, but he stepped back for this year just to focus on his health. And I've actually taken the interim role as president. And I'm here in Lisbon. I'm in Portugal. I don't know if you heard that earlier. I just got back.
I heard you talking about Portugal. Yeah. So
yeah, I just got back from Spannabis and ICBC. But one of our big drives over here is to really build the HempFest brand overseas as Europe starts to come online. And I completely agree with your alignment on the different events because sort of the end goal is if we get these in enough cities, and I'm looking at Germany as well, Russell. Every September, the entire world comes together to celebrate beer, and it's based out of Germany. And I think that cannabis really needs the same thing. We need an Oktoberfest for cannabis.
I can help with that, Eric. I can help with that. And also, I don't mean to step on you, but I have a very good German friend who lives in Portugal. If you're interested in connecting with him, he owns a farm, a cannabis farm there in Portugal. I'd like to put you in touch with him. Very intelligent guy. He's from Frankfurt area, where I'm from, and it's wonderful that we can communicate like this through this. You guys are giving me goosebumps, but my cardiologist wants me to go to physical therapy, guys. I've been here an hour and 15 minutes, and I apologize, but I have to go do my physical therapy. But please, Jeffrey, give him my information. Give him my information so he can reach me, please.
Okay, everybody, we're going to stay connected. This is.
Nice to meet you, Russell.
Guys, I look forward to hugging you in person. Okay.
Wait. While you're here, everybody, let's do our gallery shot. Everybody put your camera on and give me 3 fingers for our thank you. For our thank you forum. Yeah, 3 fingers forward. Everybody, 3 fingers forward. Brecky, come on. Can you come on, Russell?
My video is stopped.
Okay, no worries. 3 fingers. 1, 2, 3, everybody. Okay, I got it. So that's our thank you poster. And Russell, thank you. God bless you. And it's nice to finally get in some momentum with you. And so we're talking to Morris. It's Women in Weeds Day. We can't forget the women. I wonder the women in Raphael Mechoulam's life. Let's hold a little bit of space right now for the women in Raphael's Mechoulam's life that they're hurting right now, and we're sending him to go hang out with Jack now and the people on the other side. They're going to help us even further. But I want to say blessings to Dr. Raphael Mechoulam's life, his time, his demystifying for the PDRs, for the journals, for the medical world, that this is medicine. And gosh darn it, because I'm a middle school teacher, let's end prohibition together, everybody. So Hemp Parade, Dr. Raphael Mechoulam, we'll have more about you today. Welcome Chris Boucherier, and he's got some good bud always hanging around. He's got Farmtiva and a beautiful beverage company, and always been my buddy for 30, maybe more than 40 years. I don't know. Costa Mesa, and Woody Harrelson, the whole thing. Say hello to Morris, say hello to Rodimus, Chris, and Solo Breezy. and Ashley and Crazy Pop Mom Eric.
Hey, everybody.
Here he is. Give us your.
Chris, good to see you again.
Yeah, man. I'm just still working from that show. It's great to be on.
Hang out last week.
Oh yeah.
So, Chris, tell us a little bit about your connection with Dr. Mechoulam, or we all have a connection, and send him a goodbye journey.
Yeah, I had the opportunity to work for Ananda Scientific, and it's a startup. They're still around. The CEO is the former CEO of LegalZoom, but we purchased his licensing through Hebrew University for water-soluble molecular cannabinoids, and I just worked with a bunch of Israeli scientists, and I was just a nobody. I was just like the marketing hemp guy, but these guys were all out of Hebrew University, and they did all his licensing for all of his patents and formulas and stuff. So it was pretty interesting. I never got to meet him personally, but I met all the people that worked with him, and wish I could have met him. And he's on his way up to where Jack's at. I'm sure they're going to have some pretty interesting debates up there.
I heard there's Heavenly Kush.
Yeah.
You see that picture with me and Doctor? I waited 3 hours in line in Colorado for him, and he's supporting. He said, "Come to Israel anytime, Jeffrey, and we'll interview you. We'll let you in, you know." And but gosh darn it, I got a picture with Dr. Raphael Mechoulam.
Nice.
He's a hero and a legend, and I'm so proud to have all of us on board today. So yeah, tell us a little bit about how the last expo went in California with you guys.
It was really interesting. Before I went to the expo, I was contacted by health food agents. The California Department of Health actually threatened me if I sold hemp CBD to people under 18, I could be criminally prosecuted. With this new hemp law in California, it's one of the worst hemp laws I've seen. And of course, Washington State, I'm not sure if that law passed the other day. I know it was in the assembly, but long story short, the show was great. However, they have agents that patrol, and they go to all the CBD companies and make sure your labels say no one under 18.
Wait. At an organic show in California, there's undercover cops. They probably smoke when they go home.
Well, no, they're not undercover. They just come up to your booth and say, "Hey, I'm with the Department of Health, and you're violating the hemp law here by not having a correct label." And long story short, it really is disturbing because for entrepreneurs, small business owners, minority owners, women-owned businesses, veteran-owned, I mean, it's going to cost them thousands, tens of thousands of dollars to enter into the California hemp industry, and anyone else across the country who wants to sell into California. And, I don't want to be negative about
Why did that happen, Chris? Chris, why are we going backwards? What's going on? Come on.
Well, because the HIA, Vote Hemp, and Hemp Industries Association, and was it the Hemp Roundtable? They deemed hemp illegal in California and it wasn't safe. And they said, "Well, let's pass a new law and make it safe." And it was kind of a disguise. And what it really was it was a lockdown on not just cannabinoids, but even if you make hemp milk or hemp tofu or, I don't know, hemp protein powder, you have to register with the state of California, and you're going to pay thousands of dollars just to sell hemp foods in the state.
How draconian is that? That's,
we're looking to do a emergency declaratory relief. In other words, we're looking at suing the state. I'm the director of the Hemp Farmers Guild here in California, and we've teamed up with a few other groups. And we're hoping to maybe roll back this law, but there's a war on hemp across the country. It's all being attacked. And, because, there are, D8 and THCO, People are selling it, in the head shops and the gas stations, and kids are getting access to it.
Is that Delta 9? Is that Delta 9?
Well, no, there's a thing called THC-O, and it gets you really high. And they're just basically, it's called an isomer. They're made in a laboratory. And long story short, when they passed the Farm Bill, there was a section in it that says all parts of the hemp plant thereof in derivatives, lipids, oils, and isomers. So isomers basically can be made in the lab. That's how they make D8. So there was a loophole in there, and they need to change the Farm Bill, but technically it's legal under federal law. But everyone took advantage of it, to make money, and it's hurting all the hemp farmers now. And blowback. Are you guys familiar with Washington State? That bill that was just passed. The bill that was just heard. I think.
Was it passed?
I actually sit on the legislative committee.
I don't know.
Chris, I was going to say I actually sit on the legislative committee for the Washington State Cannabis Alliance. Which bills? I could probably give an update on it. Which bill specifically were you referring to?
I'll send this to everybody here. So this is called hearing on 5367. And it's basically it would outlaw any hemp product with any detectable THC or THC. And as it's written, the only thing that will be allowed is CBD isolate. And isolate isn't even hemp. Isolate is a molecule. It's really horrible. So basically, it's called. I guess you guys don't call it AB. It's 5367, and it's the bill. And it was supposed to allow hemp to be sold in dispensaries, but what it did was it completely outlawed any type, and it hasn't been passed yet. But it's a slippery slope, man. And no more than 2 milligrams of THC in any package. Even if it's like a 90 capsule bottle. But long story short, they've made it pretty restrictive, and I don't know what happened on Monday, but it was heard Monday. And then in Virginia, you heard in Virginia the same thing. They pretty much outlawed most CBD, anything over 2 milligrams of THC in an entire package. So if you had 90 capsules with 0.1 of THC derived hemp in a CBD capsule, that package is illegal now. So it's and again, it's really this D8 and the THCO. That's the alarm bell, because that's the one that's causing issues. I was in a head shop the other day, and I hate to keep talking, and I'll end it here because I could keep going. And I was in there, and a mother came in, and she started yelling at the owner because her daughter was 14, and she bought a D8 cartridge, and they're in like 8th grade. They're all getting high in the room, and you could buy it at a gas station. You could buy it at a liquor store. And he was like, "Hey, man, it's legal." But I just saw the writing on the wall. She was really upset that her daughter could buy a legal intoxicant and in a local store. So I see both sides of it. But yeah, something needs to happen in this situation. And I don't have the answer. I'm just reporting what I'm seeing and hearing.
Well, it seems everybody planetary, and I'm going to reset the room here. We're on Weeds Day. It's Women in Weed. We want to bring our women up here, and we're going over today because we can, and we cannabis, So we're honoring Dr. Mechoulam's life today. We're talking about all the deltas, all the, Delta, I think is Delta Dawn. No. Delta is like a levee, a water flow, where it's time for us to flow down the delta. But also get a handle on the responsibility we have as elders and OGs in the industry to write the right initiatives that are going to make all this happen and come to fruition. Because I'm not sure even, everybody, if we end prohibition, nationally, if the states are still going to have their little tidy panties on that are going to be able to kibosh even, ending prohibition or Schedule 1 marijuana. So let's do the best we can, everybody. Thank you, Chris, so much for enlightening us. Morris, thank you for your show upcoming, number 9. Eric Boone has been just recently at Spanibus and ICBC. See if I can get there with you in Germany. That would be fantastic. Morris is the hemp guitar man and hemp amplifier man. We're gonna get Tommy and Cheech to each get a hemp amplifier soon and come on stage with us and have all the prisoners there one day. That's my dream, and we're gonna bring everybody together. Everybody, I just want to share with you one thing on my screen here, and because it's the Raphael Mechoulam Day, I'm just going to share just a few minutes of this. Because for the next 6 weeks, I'm going to be playing part of his movie. So just sit back just for 4:20. We'll do 4:20, 4 minutes and 20. Hemp hooray, everybody. What the hell? What? Do you see it?
There's no video playing here.
I can see it.
Okay, I'm sorry, I can't see. Sorry to interrupt that.
No worries, no worries. Let's keep going, everybody. We just got a few minutes here. We're gonna put Chris back on, and here we go. What the hell? We got Dr. Mechoulam getting coordinated. That was pretty slick. I like that. Okay, everybody, that is our incredible Dr. Mechoulam, part 1. We're going to
That
have
was a great tease because now I want to watch the whole thing.
we're going to have more part 2, part 3, part 4. Thank you, Chris Boucher and Morris Beagle for joining on. Looks like we're getting closer every moment, every second to realizing our big concert party, and Morris is going to give the instruments to the Chongster and to the musicians, maybe even to Snoop. So people that are more powerful than me, not in heart and spirit, but in business, keep an eye on me. The gentleman that was on earlier, Russell, who has family and sewing workshops in Mexico, they're doing hemp bathing suits. We're gonna take my suits down there and hopefully get some suits made. And dirty cotton. So at the end of our show here, let's bring up Crazy Pop Mom. Tell us a little bit about your love for that Dr. Mechoulam there, because it's Women in Weeds Day.
Well, yeah, without his knowledge, we wouldn't be anywhere where we are right now. He made the way for all of us, basically. So, yeah, I appreciate everything that he's done to bring us to where we are. And hopefully we can make him proud from here on out.
And the cool thing is that when you see somebody in a movie like this that is not with us anymore, you know that he did have a legacy and that he worked every day and was gentle with himself. And when I met him and when I've heard him every time, I never felt anything that he was on path. When you're on path, I've learned. I didn't meet the Dalai Lama, but I was in Seattle and I got to go to the stadium and see him. When you're on path, you can see these people that walk tall. Solo, it seems like that's a great, meme and paradigm for you. Rodimus, yourself, Ashley, and the people that are left here today. Walk tall, walk with purpose, and share other people's, successes and put them into your pot trays and your medicine and the things that you do to greet and meet other people. Ashley, tell us a little bit about your love for Dr. Mechoulam.
Wow. Being that I'm a canon nurse and internist, I have to study, and I've been studying, and I want to research. And what he's done is it doesn't go, there aren't enough things to be said about what this man has accomplished and done. It goes further than just what the surface says, as everything in cannabis usually is. And when we do legalize this and we do end prohibition, yeah, the states might have some say, but don't you think that we as a community, as a Tanner Quilt, will be so strong and so such that we'll be able to break through? I mean, that's basically what weeds do anyway. They break through concrete, they break through barriers. We're gonna make it because nature is on our side. And he's up in heaven now with all the rest of the angels, and they're more powerful than ever, helping us, guiding us and guiding us, and making sure that what seeds we plant will be here for the future and for the better future, because take us away, and we know it. We know it because it's man, and we owe him ever so much, but there's got to be much more research going, and campaign hooray for that, and for all those that are still in it and still finding out new things every day. And sharing absolutely is the way to share caring. I absolutely share everything with everyone, and everyone else should too. And that's what I just say. So, hooray, and I'm ever so grateful for all of this work and for your wonderful series that you did in interviewing him and sharing as well. Thank you ever so much.
Well, thank you, Women in Weed. Women should inherit the world. We wouldn't have war. We may still have guns, but they'll be without bullets, and they'll be just hanging on the wall. Or that one guy that does the machine gun guitars, that's a cool guy. You know, he takes auto weapons and then strings them and makes them into, you know, rock and roll things. So everybody do the best you can and give thanks for Dr. Mechoulam today. Final words, Eric?
Mechoulam got us to this point. We got to keep up the effort and honor the contributions that he's made over the years. So.
Well, great. I just heard from Chris. He says, nice, awesome, thanks. And so we're going to get everybody's email to Chris. And so it's all about networking these days so we can end Prohibition together, everybody. Final words, Pa Mom?
I just feel like anybody that sees the show should go to your website and support any way they can. There's things for minimal amount of money, and then there's wonderful things for more. But it all goes to the prisoners, so let's support.
To the prisoners and Dorothy. Remember, Dorothy called in today, too. Dorothy's one of our...
Yes, Dorothy is also on the page, right?
Yep, Dorothy's on the page.
You just need to look up her name, and it's right there.
It's right there. And Ashley, any final words?
Women in Weed, love you so much. We can't do a 3 without talking about Women in Weed. Cecilia Silverson, Nana's Secret Sodas, she developed epilepsy in her teen years and started using her sodas.
Bring Nana on. Bring Nana on. Yeah. Bring Nana on.
I've invited so many of you.
I talked to her many times.
And I will continue to invite. Women in Weed, we love you so much. Amy, Freedom Grow Forever. All the work that you do can't be said enough of. We love you all so much.
That's Stephanie. That's Stephanie Landa, and Amy has the Can Do Clemency. So Amy actually works with the Weldon Project, going to the White House. She's in Mexico today, so I heard from her. So shout out to Amy. My last quote of the day from Breezy.
Well, I just want to say this is awesome episode. Thank you so much for having me here. I love all of you guys. The last quote for today, quoted by Ramanani Musa. That's a good one. Success will never lower its standard to accommodate us. We have to rise our standard to achieve it.
I think today's show was successful, and that's a really great way to end the show. I want to say hemp hooray, everybody, and blessings to your own legacy, and to a beautiful coloring book that Breezy's working on, and the flowers and the plants are all different colors, just like us. You know, we had that indigenous talk today about them trying to get rid of the Native Americans and the indigenous people, wash them away. Well, let's wash Prohibition away, and let's honor Dr. Mechoulam. We'll have more of his movie next time. We're going to play his movie. We're going to play his... Yeah, we're going to play his film for 6 freaking weeks. Just a few minutes every day, and learn more. I mean, look at him. He got coronated. He was in his little yarmulke, and he did his thing, you know, and so... love you all.
Let Solo say something. Hold on. Solo, say what you want to say.
The one thing that I love about smoking weed every single day, but like even you guys, like we're not in the same room together, but I love the part that like it's different when you're in the stoner community. Like we all drop everything, regardless of race, creed, or beliefs, and so on, and we drop everything. And we come together and we smoke weed and we share it together, regardless of what type we're smoking. And I love the conversations, and I love how deep we get. And we're all stoners, and I just love that's the main thing I love every time smoking with so many people. In a good way, in a good session. Sometimes it's not good to smoke with a lot of people, depending on the session. But I love dropping things and learning knowledge in certain smoke sessions. And I think that's the wonderful thing about smoking weed. It brings people together. Believe it or not.
Well, I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you, my child. It's so fun to have the people behind us, because we are behind Mochulam. Mochulam paved the road. Now we're on the road. Now let's make more hemp guitars. We got Morris now on, and we're on our way to go to NOCO and walk the floor and just be who we are, you know. So thank you so much. And hemp hooray. My final words are hemp hooray. That's Jack's line. And paper, fiber, fuel, medicine, and food. And THC, found by this guy right here, Dr. Mochulam. So don't you forget it. Next 6 weeks are going to be dedicated to Dr. Mochulam. And love your bottles, love your jars, and football never stops. So everybody, you deserve a foot rub. So everybody this week is seeking out that cosmic foot rub with a little THC in your belly, and do the right thing. If you know it's wrong for you, don't smoke. If you know it's right for you, smoke. Find your sweet spot so you can keep going and do as well as Dr. Mochulam. We don't know if he smoked. I've never seen a picture of him there, but he was dedicated to the mother plant. So everybody, hemp hooray. I'm going to sign off now. And unless there's anything else, raise your hand. Love you all. And hemp hooray. Got 3. And so peace in the Middle East, everybody. Okay? And happy Hanukkah. See you in Germany, Mr. Skunk. Love you all. Peace in the Middle East. To say, hey, StreamYard, thank you for a beautiful long show today. It was really a blessed show. 1 hour, 40 minutes, 420, 1 hour, 42 minutes, maybe. So, love you. And hemp hooray. And Dr. Mochulam, good life. Good job. You inspire me. Prohibition, everybody. Let's get this party started.